Greetings everyone. Today I wanted to discuss a certain phenomenon in gaming that I have coined as the false god dilemma. To put it shortly, the false god dilemma is when the final boss of a game is so overtuned to such an ungodly degree that the only real chance a player has to overcome the challenge is to resort to underhanded tactics that they did not have to utilize prior to this point. The example used in this video is from the final boss in Tactics Ogre Reborn, Dorgalua. The fight consists of two phases, with the first phase involving battling your own team's doppelgangers in a weakened form of Dorgalua. Once you bring Dorgalua to a low threshold of health, he enters his god phase. And this is where the false god dilemma really comes into play. I'm not going too deep into the details of the battle, but the game takes a U-turn from its normal pacing and well-established battle norms and enters a chaotic maelstrom of a battle. This boss breaks all the rules and brings the aforementioned dilemma to full fruition. His ability to move, damage, inflict status, and survive is insane. There are a few ways to overcome this challenge, but most of them, if not all of them, involve some sort of gimmick. The one you see playing out in the background is the Lord Denam solo cheese strat, and I cannot take credit for its discovery, although I did tweak the method slightly to make it easier for me to personally clear. I equipped Denam with Phalanx, First Aid, Mother's Mercy, and Mighty Impact, and the spells Heal 3 and Boon of Swiftness. The other two spells didn't matter, and Boon of Swiftness wasn't really needed. I brought along 4 Seraph Fruits, but those could have easily been exchanged for Mending Essences, and I wielded Brynhildr. The first stage of the battle I stalled as best I could, using every turn that I had mana to heal myself, until I collected enough skill triggers from the tarot cards where I had auto-healing and phalanxing every turn. Then I grabbed a physical attack plus and waited until my health was relatively high and ended the phase by killing Dorgalua's first form. Thanks to abusing the first stage of the battle, I now had 100% uptime of 80% damage reduction from phalanx, with continually healing from first aid every turn, and I was able to slowly whittle down the boss, with occasionally throwing in a mighty strike to speed up the process and finish the game. Yay for me, right? Now delving back into the philosophy of the false god dilemma and why this is detrimental to the game as a whole. To recap, this dilemma is basically an unreasonable difficulty spike that demands unconventional methods to feasibly bypass the challenge at hand. The difficult aspect being this boss's insane attributes, and the non-conventional methods in this case was utilizing Lord Denam's unique class capabilities to combine auto-proccing skills activated at unintended rates due to tarot card collection from the previous stage. I qualify the solution to this problem as unconventional because nowhere else in the game prior to this point did the player have to completely redesign their team, or in my case, just put in Denam, and use him in such a way to kill the boss. All of the parts of the game you were able to overcome various difficulty spikes through careful strategic moves or incorporating certain units, but never to the degree that is necessary here. I feel this unreasonable difficulty spike is in an attempt for developers to end the hero's journey on the highest possible note possible, and they try to do this by providing the biggest sense of accomplishment that they think they can. And what better way to provide a sense of accomplishment than to literally kill a god? There's just one problem with this though. Denam is not a god, and this game is not centered around killing gods. This is not Hades or God of War. To make matters worse, in Tactics Ogre Reborn, the final boss fight occurs after a very long dungeon known as the Hanging Gardens. Even if a player wanted to go back and backtrack away from the fight, get more supplies or grind experience, they are not able to. Not that experience would matter at this point because the level cap is 40 and almost everyone is there already. What this does is to force the player to do one of two things. One, they can either continually reattempt to overcome the challenge at hand, or two, they can reload an earlier save file and subject themselves to going through the entire dungeon again for some minor change. This is assuming they had a separate save file to begin with. Oh, and one more thing. The lore class is only given to Denam if a series of actions are taken before, and by a pure stroke of luck, I happen to have gone down that path. If I was the unfortunate soul that did not unintentionally select this path and unlock Lord Denam, I don't know what I could have done to finish the game. Another game that did this is Octopath Traveler 1, but that's for another video. Anyway, let me know if you agree with my analysis, and if you want more details on how to clear the final boss with solo Lord Denam, I can help.